Welcome to Damn Good Movie Memories with your host, Brian Davis. This podcast is the cure for your long commute and super boring workday. Hey there, it's Brian Davis, and for this week's episode, we're going to do actors that always seem to play the same roles, whether they're typecasted or simply they just don't have enough range to play anything else. We're going to cover all sorts of people in this episode. We're going to start with my interview with Sara, who really is passionate about one particular actress, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about my particular choices, and then we have a bonus interview that I'm sure you will all enjoy with Sara. Okay, so we're here with Sara, and this week we're doing actors or actresses that always play the same role. Oh. And this one just jumped out at you when you saw it, so I want to know. Because
there's a lot of movies that I avoid because of these actors.
Okay.
And my number one, I will tell you right now, and we don't hang out anymore because she pisses me off, is Jennifer Aniston. And it's clear that her vanity is an issue because she, one, never uglies herself up.
Right.
For anything. She always looks exactly how she looks and is Rachel Green.
Right.
So I'm really not convinced she was ever acting. Like that's
basically her. Yeah.
So it's kind of a reality show, but yeah, she's done a couple films where maybe she's Rachel Green depressed. Mm-hmm. Or Rachel Green on Xanax, like The Good Girl or whatever it was. But she basically always plays the same person.
Yeah.
So it's like, guess what? You're not winning an Oscar for boring.
No.
So
you're not. You got to do a Charlize Theron.
Right. Or Halle Berry even got a little ugly.
Halle Berry did, yeah.
And guess what?
She won an Oscar.
Oscars for both. So
do you think if Jennifer Aniston did that, would she actually ever win an Oscar?
I think she'd have to really. I don't know if she'd win an Oscar, but people would be like, okay, you really love your craft. You really want to be an actor. Like she doesn't want to be an actor. No. She just wanted to be famous or be rich or be whatever. But it's like. She cares more about what, like, even Horrible Bosses, yeah, she's tolerable. Yeah. But she still has to be hot.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I can just see
even Gwyneth Paltrow did the fat suit thing for Shallow Hal. Yeah.
Right. I think there was a couple movies where she was, or maybe not, but yeah, I'm not crazy about her either. But
being John Malkovich, Cameron Diaz doesn't even look like Cameron Diaz.
No, see, and that's how, Cameron Diaz can make herself look pretty bad if she wants to. And so I'm trying to think anything with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And even Jim Carrey, I mean, he tried a little bit. He kind of did like,
Mine,
Mm-hmm. But it's like, they play the same person. And you'll never be able to take them seriously. They'll never get, they'll never get an Oscar because as we know, comedies never get Oscar nods.
That's right, which is, that could be a whole other topic.
That's a whole other topic. Yeah. But, which is maybe why those actors annoy me. Yeah. Because it's like, you're the same person. And it's like, I can do that. I can do something better. But... sometimes even those, who is it? Luke Owen Wilson and the I don't know.
You were pointing at your nose.
I know, Mom. What? The one who looks like he kind of got smashed.
That's Owen.
Shovel.
Yes.
He doesn't really do all that much, right? He's kind of the blonde one.
Yeah.
Is that Owen?
Yes.
He's kind of like your male Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
The other one's more tolerable, Luke, but they're pretty much they're like,
The complete opposite of this is Mike Myers, where he's always playing he's almost never himself.
Right.
Like I think the only one was So I Married an Axe Murderer, where he's actually
like
not in makeup or anything.
Right, and he's not like all spastic or whatever. Does he ever do really serious roles?
I don't think so.
See, I've watched the transition from this is how you do it, and ask Ryan Reynolds and ask Justin Bateman.
Yeah. Because
they were like funny, and then. They do a scary movie.
Yep.
And then from there, you can kind of, from the depths of this, like, friggin', you can do kind of more dark comedy-ish, not really. And then there they go. Now they're going to friggin' watch. Ryan Reynolds is working his way towards an Oscar. I guarantee it.
It could happen.
Mm-hmm. Or at least a role that would have him considered.
Okay, on this podcast first, Sarah's predicting it, Ryan Reynolds, Oscar.
And I will be there to congratulate him if he needs it.
Thank you, Sara. All right, Sarah's always a kick, and I said that she would hate somebody, and Jennifer Aniston was on her list, and yeah, nobody could put it quite like Sara, so I was happy that she got to discuss her, and then I didn't have to, so that works out well. All right, let's go through my list now. It's a good mishmash. Let's start first with Bruce Willis. Yes, so Bruce pretty much plays his diehard character of John McClane in pretty much every single movie he's in, whether it be The Fifth Element or Armageddon. He does have a little bit of range in the M. Night Shyamalan movies, but no, he pretty much plays that tough guy you don't want to mess with, but, you know, he's Bruce Willis. Like, you get him no matter what.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. How about yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker?
Along the same lines, we're going to go with another action star, and this guy is just... I don't even know if he has any facial expressions, and that's Vin Diesel. Yeah, you've seen one Vin Diesel movie, you've seen them all, and whether it be the 42 million Fast and Furious movies or the XXX movies, yeah, you know what you're going to get with Vin Diesel. Michael Cera, who is probably best known for kind of playing that shy, awkward, but always lovable teenager who's no longer a teenager. You know, he was in, let's see, what was he? He was definitely in Juno, and then he was in that one with the playlist one. I can't think of the exact title, but he pretty much plays the same character in every movies. And so I think one movie was This Is the End, where he kind of plays a badass, but it's really not like him, and it's a parody, so that's why it kind of works. He was also in Superbad, pretty much playing the same character as well. All right, Adam Sandler. I love Adam Sandler movies, but he pretty much plays the same character in every movie he's in. The one character, and it's one of the few movies I don't like from him, is Punch Drunk Love. And he's much different in that. He plays a much darker character. And I think he's probably a better actor than he gives himself credit for. But he's pigeonholed himself into these roles, mostly because he's, producing them or whatnot. But it works. I mean, you know what you're going to get from Adam Sandler movie, like him or dislike him.
Yeah! You're gonna die, clown! You think that's funny? I don't hear you laughing now! Whoa!
Tommy Lee Jones. You've seen one Tommy Lee Jones movie, you've pretty much seen them all. The movies he's in are usually great, but you get the same no nonsense, doesn't seem like a super fun guy type of character, whether it be Men in Black or what else? In The Fugitive, where he's chasing Harrison Ford. You get the same Tommy Lee Jones in every movie.
Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Our fugitive has been on the run for 90 minutes. Average foot speed over uneven ground, barring injury, is 4 miles an hour. That gives us a radius of 6 miles. What I want out of each and every one of you is a hard target search of every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, or doghouse in that area. Checkpoints go up at 15 miles. Your fugitive's name is Dr. Richard Kimball. Go get him.
Next, these are kind of, I would say, the brother and sister of comedy. And one is Chris Farley. I love Chris Farley when he was alive and doing his Saturday Night Live bits and, of course, his movies. But he pretty much played the same crazy, heavy-set character and, just over the top, always like that. Kind of like John Belushi. He kind of fit that John Belushi mold. We never found out what would happen to Belushi if he had lived, if he would play a similar role, like the Animal House or Blues Brothers character. But with Chris Farley, he pretty much stayed the same.
Hey, Mom, Dad.
Brian, Stacy, your mother Ellen and I are so glad you decided to join us for this family communication session.
So what's up? You guys getting divorced or something?
No, we just wanted the family to talk as a group.
Okay, well, let's get it started then.
All right, well, Stacy, Brian, your father, Ted, and I are a little bit concerned. Celia, the cleaning lady, was in the family room and she found a bag of pot.
She didn't smoke it, did she?
No, she didn't smoke it.
Now, we're not here to come down on you. I mean, that's not what we're about, okay?
We're just concerned that pot could lead to other things.
Crack, ice, boom, pow.
But we know you don't want to hear this from us.
Sure, I mean, we're your parents. Who wants to hear this stuff from their parents, huh?
But your father and I came up with a brilliant idea to give you kids some direction. A motivational speaker.
Yeah, one of those guys who speaks to big groups at high schools and churches.
You mean to come to the house?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, later.
Thanks anyway.
Hey, come on, you guys. This set me back a few bucks. Okay, his name is Matt Foley. Now, he's been down in the basement drinking coffee for about the last 4 hours, and he should be all ready to go. I'll call him up. Matt, we're ready for you. His speech is called Go For It. Now, he's used to big groups, so make him feel like there's a crowd here. Matt, come on up, buddy!
All right, how's everybody? Good, good, good. Now, as your father probably told you, my name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker. Now, let's get started by letting me give you a little bit of a scenario of what my life is all about. First off, I am 35 years old, I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river. Now, you kids are probably saying to yourselves, hey, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get the world by the tail and wrap it around and pull it down and put it in my pocket. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're probably gonna find out as you go out there that you're not going to amount to jack squat. You're gonna end up eating a steady diet of government cheese and living in a van down by the river. Now, young man, what do you want to do with your life?
Actually, Matt, I kind of want to be a writer.
Well, la-de frickin' da! We got ourselves a writer here. Hey, Dad, I can't see real good. Is that Bill Shakespeare over there? Huh?
Well, actually, Matt, Ellen and I have encouraged Brian in his writing.
Dad, I wish you could just shut your big yapper. Now, I wonder, Brian, from what I've heard, you're using your paper not for writing, but for rolling doobies. You're gonna be doing a lot of doobie rolling when you're living in a van down by the river. Young lady, what do you want to do with your life?
I want to live in a van down by the river.
Well, you'll have plenty of time to live in a van down by the river when you're living in a van down by the river. Now, you kids are probably asking yourselves, hey, Matt, how can we get back on the right track? Well, as I see it, there is only one solution. And that is for me to get my gear, move it on in here, because I'm going to bunk with you, buddy. We're going to be buddies. We're going to be pals. We're going to wrestle around. Old Matt's going to be your shadow. Here's you, here's Matt. There's you, there. Whoops-a-daisy. Whoops-a-daisy. By God. We're gonna have to clean that up later. Me and my buddies, my pals, my amigos. I'm gonna get my gear.
Wait, yeah, Matt, you don't have to go.
No,
Matt,
you don't have
Matt.
to do that. We'll never smoke pot again.
Matt, thanks for all you've done.
I don't give a rat's behind because I'm moving in. I'm sick and tired of living in a van down by the river.
Is the back door locked?
Yes.
We love you, Dad.
I love you too.
And then the obvious one is Melissa McCarthy. And even though she's great as her particular role, she pretty much always plays the foul-mouthed, super funny, actress. But she hasn't really shown that much range yet. She was in a movie with Bill Murray where she played a single mom. But, for the most part, she's playing the same Bridesmaids type character. Kevin Hart, who I love. Kevin Hart's really good. He plays the small sidekick, the wisecracking sidekick. But, yeah, there's no real range to his... when he's in a movie, you're going to get the same character every time. Another action star, Jason Statham. I love all of his movies. But yeah, he's gonna play your kick-ass Bruce Willis type actor. But he plays a little bit of a comedic role in the Melissa McCarthy movie Spy. But no, you know what you're gonna get out of Jason Statham. Danny Trejo, he's pretty much always playing a very large. Looks like he just got out of prison or a gang member. Motorcycle bike guy in every movie. So you know what you're gonna get when he's in a movie. He's not gonna be playing a man nanny or something like that, even though Vin Diesel did. Or was that The Rock? I can't keep track. Hugh Grant pretty much is your go-to romantic British comedy type of guy. He doesn't deviate much from his scope. Steven Seagal. Yeah, here's your typical action star from the 80s. You could say, I didn't put Stallone on the list because Stallone, while I'm not sure he has that much range, I consider him a much better actor than Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal is in the Schwarzenegger vein when it comes to acting. John Wayne. So John Wayne, he was best known as playing the Western guy. I think that's why The Quiet Man is such a good movie, because even though he played a tough, grizzled badass, there was a certain charm to him. There was a certain lovable charm to him that was unlike any of his westerns. But for the most part, he was stuck in westerns. Jason Bateman, who's had a nice resurgence after starting his career on television, but you're pretty much going to get the same character. I don't know if it's the Arrested Development character, but in his movies he's playing whether it be the Change Up or he was just in the Office Christmas Party, movies like that. He's pretty much playing the same character. Horrible Bosses, where he's just got a very dry sense of humor. He's good at what he does, but you know what you're going to get out of him. In the same vein, Zach Galifianakis, he's going to play the schlubby, character where he's not going to really... He's the Hangover. In every movie, he is the guy in the Hangover. That's just the way it is. And let's go old school here. William Shatner, at this point, at every point, he pretty much... It's self-parody of William Shatner. Shatner's playing Shatner. I don't want to say he's like Jack Nicholson, but you know what you're going to get when Shatner's out there. So he's always going to be Captain Kirk in some form. And then I have a few more that there's people that were always typecasted, and it wasn't necessarily their fault. It's just that either they got put into an iconic role or an iconic type of role, and that's what they were stuck in. Let's go with the first one, which is Christopher Reeve. Sadly, he had a horrific accident that left him paralyzed, and but he was forever known as Superman. He was in one other kind of romance movie, but I can't think of any other thing he was in. He was Superman, and that was it. Arlie Ermey, he's best known as playing Sergeant Hartman in Full Metal Jacket. He's also in Saving Silverman, but he is your stereotypical hard-ass military guy. He is your drill sergeant. It never changes. He's like that in every movie, in every commercial he's in.
Jesus H. Christ. Private Pyle, why is your footlocker unlocked?
Sir, I don't know, sir.
Private Pyle, if there is one thing in this world that I hate, it is an unlocked footlocker. You know that, don't you?
Sir, yes, sir.
If it wasn't for dickheads like you, there wouldn't be any thievery in this world, would there?
Sir, no, sir.
Get down! Well, now, let's just see if there's anything missing. Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that, Private Pyle?
Sir, jelly donut, sir.
A jelly donut?
Sir, yes, sir.
How did it get here?
Sir, I took it from the mess hall, sir.
Is chow allowed in the barracks, Private Pyle?
Sir, no, sir.
Are you allowed to eat jelly donuts, Private Pyle?
Sir, no, sir.
And why the not, Private Pyle?
Sir, because I'm too heavy, sir.
Because you are a disgusting fat body, Private Pyle.
Sir, yes, sir.
Then why did you hide a jelly donut in your footlocker, Private Pyle?
Sir, because I was hungry, sir.
Because you were hungry. Private Pyle has dishonored himself and dishonored the platoon. I have tried to help him, but I have failed. I have failed because you have not helped me. You people have not given Private Pyle the proper motivation. So, from now on, whenever Private Pyle fucks up, I will not punish him. I will punish all of you. And the way I see it, ladies, you owe me for one jelly donut. Now get on your faces. Open your mouth. They're paying for it. You eat it. Ready? Exercise. 1, 2.
Much like Christopher Reeve, Adam West was in a variety of things, but what do you know him as? He's Batman. He will forever be Batman. Roger Moore was in a lot of things before James Bond, but when you think of Roger Moore, you immediately think James Bond and not much else. Whereas you have Pierce Brosnan, who was in plenty of different things. You don't just think of James Bond with him. With Sean Connery, I think that's probably part of the reason Sean Connery dropped the James Bond role is because he didn't want to be forever labeled just as James Bond. Roger Moore, I think that was his legacy, and that's how it is. Leslie Nielsen, who was in all sorts, he was a serious actor. And then all of a sudden in 1980, he starred in Airplane. And forever, the rest of his career, he was in spoof and parody movies, whether it be The Naked Gun or whatever million parodies he was in after that, all the Zucker Brothers stuff. But he was then typecasted as a, spoof parody guy. And lastly, let's go with the perennial 80s bad guy. That's William Zabka. He was best known as Johnny in the original Karate Kid, but then he was also the bully in Back to School when he was in college. He was also the bully in Just One of the Guys. He was your go-to bad guy, and then he didn't do much after that. So anyway, that is our list. It's a short episode this week, but we hope you enjoyed what we have. And we have a bonus episode, which is, I was thinking eventually of doing the whole makeover movies, the geek to chic, as Sarah put it. But I don't know if we were going to have enough interviews to do that. So I'm going to tack it on to this episode to make it a complete episode. And hopefully you enjoy that. We'll be back next week with our regularly scheduled podcast. I hope you enjoyed this little mini episode, and we'll talk to you next week. Okay, this week with Sarah, we're going to do makeover movies, or as you put it, geek to chic. So,
right. Some people like the geek thing is in now, though. So,
it is. So it's not like nerd. Remember Revenge of the Nerds? Like that was such a stigma, and now if you're a nerd,
you're like, those guys. Yeah, it's when you're the meathead, nobody wants you.
Right.
So that's pretty interesting.
But back in the day, a nerd was really a nerd.
We need to do marathon. How many of those? 3?
Yes,
there's trilogy.
There is actually that is a trilogy.
I haven't. We need to go marathon some movies that we haven't seen, and then like.
I barely remember the sequels, but I definitely remember the original.
Wasn't it all just one? It's like one movie that they just cut into a couple of pieces.
No, they.
It's like Fast and Furious.
Yes. Oh my god.
Wait, which one? When you don't know which one you're watching, because they're all basically the same.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway,
unfortunately, James Bond's kind of like that in the Roger Moore era.
Yeah. You're right. I don't know which one's which.
Yeah.
They're all kind of maybe the only way you knew was how hot the chick was, like which one it was.
Exactly.
Right, and the sex scenes. So,
but for this,
we are doing what did you say again?
We're doing makeover movies.
Oh my god, that's right, geek to chic.
Yeah.
Okay,
not to give anything away, but we like to record all these at once, and then we just
I totally can you cut that out?
The facade is gone.
I know. Damn it, you're gonna have to edit that.
I know, of course.
Okay, so makeover movies. I would have to say. The first one that comes to mind is probably the last makeover movie I watched, which was Clueless.
Okay.
Which that was out.
Really? That's the last one you watched?
Well, that's the last one that I can really remember because those are kind of funny movies.
Yeah,
and you know that now that I've gotten older, I've gotten more tragic and bleak. But mainly because at the time that Clueless came out, have you seen the movie?
Of course. Yeah.
So I worked at Contempo Casuals.
Oh, no way.
So I was there when all of the movie, like all the baby tees and the skirts and all, and we had to wear that. And I just remember it, probably one of the reasons I watched the movie. But Yeah, I remember.
That actually could be one that hit too close to home for you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. I was like, oh my god, if I never see another Baby T again. So yeah, Brittany Murphy in that with her, that one was like an instant, like where most of the 80s or 90s movies, they it's a very strategic, like, okay, we're doing a makeover.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Some Kind of Wonderful, where Eric Stoltz kind of gets a little less geeky. Like you can notice like his hair's parted different, towards midway through the movie, or, his shirt's unbuttoned one, or, stuff like that. That one, and then there's...
It's funny how Clueless is almost like the 90s version of Valley Girl.
Oh my god, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like that snapshot of mid-90s as opposed to early 80s.
But it's like, you don't know your boy's gay? He's gay. She's like, no, well, he does like to shop. Right? So...
I think that was Paul Rudd's kind of breakeout movie.
That's
too.
right. I did. I remember that. I remember my sister watching it. She goes, dude, I'd go for that guy. I'm all, and then,
and he's actually more famous than anyone in that movie.
I know, except for Alicia Silverstone.
He's more famous than her now.
I know. Where's she been? She had like a baby.
She
and
hasn't
nobody
done
cares.
much. So.
Right. So
that's a good one.
And that's a good one. And the other one, Can't Buy Me Love.
That's the ultimate.
Yeah, that one is great. And that one has like a little more of a mellow progression, I think. I mean, she's like, okay, we got to change this shirt and like take off your glasses.
Yeah.
And she messes up his hair, but it's not like the whole, where you have like the music going and they show the whole, those typical makeover
like a montage,
scenes.
Yeah.
Right. Or it's not as subtle as, Ali Sheedy in The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Where they're like putting on the eyeliner and, all of a sudden you see
For Can't Buy Me Love, he pretty much... his whole persona changes too. It's not just his look; his
he gets like
attitude.
super cool, which is the whole point. It's like, don't become an asshole,
right? And he did,
right?
Yeah.
Just One of the Guys was another makeover movie, but that was that was a little different kind of makeover. But it's like
all they were doing is putting definitely.
Yes, right.
She was going undercover,
right? But she still was. It was technically kind of a makeover. And then afterwards, she kept the short hair and she was trying to look, whatever. But doesn't that have the asshole from Karate Kid in it?
Yes, that's William Zabka.
Oh my God, is that his
Johnny?
His third movie? Is his name Johnny in all of them as well?
He's also in. Did you ever see Back to School?
Oh
He's the asshole swimmer.
See, God,
he's great.
Total typecast.
Yeah.
I know there's more of the makeover movies that I'm not coming to mind again, but.
Well, She's All That. Did you ever see?
Yeah, but that is pretty much a remake of like.
Almost Can't Buy Me Love.
Right, exactly, right? Because she's like this geeky whatever.
Yeah. And all they do is put you can tell she's really pretty. All they're doing is putting glasses on.
You always can tell at the beginning of a movie, right? But some of them you can tell because it's like, wait a minute. There's hair extensions, something's weird because at the end of the movie it's going to change and you can kind of tell where they're uglying people up and it's like, what's with her skin? They kind of have like this weird ruddy whatever. So, there's some good ones. That always kind of made me feel good though watching those movies. I'm like, aw. Yeah. And then I would look at people, my friends and I would be like, dude, can we make that out? Can we make her over? Let's totally do that. Yeah. And we actually did that with guy friends. We're like, okay, we had this one guy, his name was Andy, and he won't be listening, hopefully. And he was super geeky. And I mean, I don't want to say that. He was very reserved and didn't really have a lot of friends. And he lived down the street from me. Okay. It was like a movie because it's like I would talk to him in class and then he'd say,
do you want to bring him out of his shell?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I just kind of was like, oh, this could be fun. And so then he was like, oh, I saw you guys at your house the other day. There was a bunch of us. And I was like, oh, yeah, we were swimming and blah, blah, blah. And then slowly we brought him to a party. And then it was kind of all downhill from there.
So did he become popular from that?
He did, but he got a little too popular.
Oh, really?
I think he kind of turned into a big pothead, and I don't even know what happened after that. Like he was like went from straight A student to like, I think he had some other things going on. But it was like he had this huge house, and his parents would be gone all the time. Remember, it was me and like 3 of my girlfriends, and we're going through his house. Realized, anybody here? He's like, no. And I felt he had a water slide from their second story that would go into their pool.
It reminds me of The Legend of Billie Jean.
Yes, it was like that. Yeah, right. And I think it was because he wanted it, like the movie.
Yeah.
And so, and it was just him by himself. And I'm like,
crazy.
This is an untapped resource right here.
Really. I see a screenplay. You should write this down. Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's what the podcast is for. You didn't even think about that.
Oh my God. I haven't thought of that guy in years.
If you enjoy this podcast and are an iTunes user, please do the show a favor and head on over to the official iTunes page for Damn Good Movie Memories. Be sure to leave a rating and a review. This will allow the show to appear higher in the algorithm and spread the joy of this podcast to the masses. If you are not an iTunes user, you can still listen and subscribe on Podbean at damngoodmoviememories.podbean.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook under our Damn Good Movie Memories page. You can also listen to a limited number of episodes on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and be sure to tune in next week for an all-new episode of Damn Good Movie Memories.